Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden packs? Look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable MUT coins on the market. And don't forget to use code Ferdy at checkout for 5% off. What's going on, guys? Today, we are grading every single card that is in the new Real Deals promo. Not a big drop as far as there being 95s and things like that, but there are. I mean, actually, there might be 95s and things like that. They just didn't reveal them. That would make more sense, to be honest. Why would they reveal those cards? That would make sense. They're probably going to be lower overall versions of these guys if they're in the game. What am I even saying? But before we get started, if you are part of the 63% of people who watch the videos and are not subscribed, let's change that right now. Head down there, hit the subscribe button, turn those notifications, and we'll be live tonight on Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern, using some of these new cards. There's a couple I want to try out. For sure, definitely a couple I want to try out. But of course, we're going to talk about every single card and just give them a grade A+ to F, or maybe even F- for some of these guys. Maybe not today, but you know what I mean. First up is your free login welcome player. Completely free. You're going to be able to upgrade this card through the field pass as well as solos. The X Factor is going to be Fearmonger. All these cards get one special X Factor that has a showtime. So it's like, you know, kind of the same way it's Yakima Combine. It's going to be Fearmonger Showtime. That's going to be the difference right there. So tier 1. Or is there only a tier 1 on this card? Why does it only say there's a tier 1 on this card? Maybe there only is only a tier 1 on this card. Maybe I'm wrong about this one. I made a TikTok earlier. Maybe I misspoke in that. I thought there was tier 2s for every card, but maybe not Carl Weathers because he's a free card. Maybe not. But he does get Lurk Artist, Edge Shred Elite, no Outsiders, Lurk Artist, Edge Shred Elite, 1 AP. So these two buckets are exactly the same thing. It's one custom bucket with buy one, get one free or unpredictable. Again, with these guys, we don't know what they're gonna be, but unfortunately another right outside linebacker, so we don't like, and we don't really know his traits because Carl Weathers hasn't been in the game yet, obviously, but he's a legend in real life, by the way. Absolute legend. But as far as this card goes, I think I'm gonna give Carl Weathers probably like a B minus. I think, because part of my grading is not only how good a card is, it's also just comparing him to other cards in the game. And like Micah Parsons is probably better than this card, and he's another free 90, free 90, 7 overall, all 32 team chem. I think he might be 96, but all 32 team chem right outside linebacker, where Carl just is not that. So I think I would take him over him. I would take Micah over Carl Weathers. So I'm gonna give him a B minus. The next up is Bert Reynolds. This card is 5'11", 176, which is tough. Tough to see, man. Yeah, I don't know. And his X Factor is Showtime. This card could have been okay. Pretty good if they gave him like Angry Runs or Freight Train, would have been awesome. But instead they gave him Evasive, which you're gonna have to go 50 yards without Evasive. And they didn't give him any kind of jukebox or spin cycle. I mean, not that matters, but they didn't give him a jukebox to kind of pass the time for at least 0 AP. Instead he does get Leapfrog, which is interesting because the Journal's okay this year. It's not as good as it's been, but it is somewhat good. You can run it, so for free you have it there. Grab and go, no point. So Backfield Master is probably gonna be something that you're gonna want to run. Leapfrog, Backfield Master, Threat Detector, or even I guess it's probably Leapfrog, Backyard, Halfback with free Evasive 2 is probably the setup on Bert Reynolds. But all in all, comparing this guy to the other running backs in the game, I think he's got to be like a B plus-ish card. Unfortunately, I just don't think stacked up against the other running backs in the game. I mean, really just Bo really is the main guy I'm comparing him to. I probably would take Emmett over him. I would probably even take like still Peyton Hillis over him too, which people aren't going to like, but there's a bunch of backs I would definitely take over this Bert Reynolds card. For sure. So I'm going to go A minus B plus range for Bert. Next up is Roman Reigns. Unstoppable Force, which is, of course, very, very good. We love to see Unstoppable Force. Interior threat's nice. Edge threat, so depending on where you want to put him on the edge or on the inside. Would have liked to have seen inside stuff on him somewhere, but not bad for abilities. Good X Factor. I think Roman Reigns is going to end up being a solid, like, A card. I think he's very good. I think I'm good with giving this guy an A. I think that one's easy for Roman Reigns. I don't see any problem with that card. If you want to use him, he'll be solid enough without question. You know what I mean? Like, he'll get the job done for you. Next up, we got Gronk. This card could have been better, yes. 96 speed, my socks, they're still on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going crazy for this card, but Yeah, double me too also is interesting. I'm hoping that there's an end game Gronk in store, whether it's for a promo or whether it's a golden ticket. Hopefully someone makes one. But would have loved to have seen Vanguard. Would have loved to have seen it for sure, 100%. They should have given it to him. But so with wide receivers, instead of it being downs played, it's going to be you're actually going to need to activate it, which is just kind of a little annoying when you have combine and lighted up X factors in the game where you don't even have to work for them. So the fact you have double me and you have to work for it, I don't even think it's probably worth running double me over like a quarterback X factor, over a running back X factor, even over some receiver or Vanguard X factors. I don't think it's even worth running it on Gronk. But he does get honorary lineman for free and matchup nightmare for free, which is actually a super good setup. And you can even go deep in elite, which doesn't make much sense because he's a little bit slow, but short in elite's not bad. So even matchup honorary for 0 AP is a good setup on Gronk. So I like this card. Big body, his cards always play well. They're very frustrating after the catch. Not as much for the juke move, but because he's just so big and can just run guys over. So Gronk, I'm gonna go A- for Gronk. This card could have been better. If you have a theme team, great, but if you don't, X Factor's kind of mid. Could have been faster. He'll be okay though. He'll be okay. I think he's an A. I'm gonna go A-. Next up is Terry Bradshaw. Okay. Now this card, he's got life. Okay. This card has a chance to be okay. Like he's got a chance to be behind Peyton. Yeah. Maybe behind. No. Probably behind Richardson and Levis to me. If you watch my quarterback tier list I made, was that yesterday? No, it was 2 days ago. Number 1 was Bo. Number 2 was Peyton. Number 3 was Will Levis. Number 4 we had Anthony Richardson. Number 5 I think it was Eli. I think there's a chance that Terry gets past Eli. Maybe. Yeah, probably around there. 5 or 6 would be my guess for Terry Bradshaw. Releases is not great, right? Traditional 2, it's okay. But you are going to have Gunslinger on this card. So I think the best setup for Terry Bradshaw is, of course, going to be run his X Factor. The only problem is that you're going to have to start the game without pass lead elite, which could be tough. That could be hard. Getting 100 passing yards without pass lead elite could be hard. But once you do this, it won't turn off. It's 0 AP. And you can even run Gunslinger, Fearless, and Tactician for just 3 AP. So you have pass lead, Tactician, Fearless, and Gunslinger for 3 AP. And if you want to toss in Gift Wrap, that'll put you at 4. But still a very good setup. But again, the only issue is you not having pass lead for that first 100 passing yard. That's going to be the only problem, but you're going to have your hot route master, you're going to have your conductor, you're going to have your playmaker, you're going to have your fearless, and you're going to have your gunslinger, which is still a really good setup, and then you're going to have that pass lead come into the back and just go crazy once you get 100 passing yards. So, it's pretty nice. And by the way, I didn't even mention this on the X Factors. The way you upgrade the X Factors, I probably should have said this at the start of the video, is each card in the Real Deals Field Pass, yes, the Field Pass, or that's what it's called, is going to have their own specific objectives. For example, I don't know, Terry Bradshaw could be like score 5 touchdowns with Terry Bradshaw, or pass for 500 yards with Terry Bradshaw, and then you're going to get your tokens, and you'll be able to activate the showdown all the way, which you're going to need 2 tokens for, and there's unlimited tokens. Every card can be fully upgraded, unlike Super Bowl, and unlike, what was the other promo? I guess it was only Super Bowl that limited us with X Factors, I believe, and Genki, I guess, in a way did, but you had to like pay a bunch of money, so a bunch of coins. But Terry Bradshaw, I think, oh man, I'm gonna go A+ on this card, but like it's like A+, because this card won't be the cup of tea for everybody. I think the distance between him and Peyton and Bo is pretty long. That's probably the reason why I'm thinking like A-ish. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Next up is Brian Bosworth. Okay, this card isn't great. He's really not great at all. First of all, Avalanche X Factor, even if you get a hit stick sometimes, it don't even light up. So that's the first thing. That's truly the first thing. Even if you get a hit stick lined up with a full lit up Avalanche, you don't always get that fumble, right? Which is tough. But ability wise, Lurk Artist is cool. And I probably would go Enforcer, like Lurk Artist, Enforcer. You could always toss in Tackle Supreme, which is good against, of course, the Freight Train X Factors. But 6'2", and he only has 95 speed. So, yeah, if you got a Hawks theme team, sure, you can run the man. But outside of that, he doesn't move me. I think he's probably like a B card for 98 overall. But I think Tackle Supreme keeps him alive a little bit. And again, theme teams couldn't get up to 97 speed, which is actually not bad. So I'm going to go B for Brian Bosworth. Brian Bosworth B. Look at that. I'm so stupid. All right, either way, we got Anand Ward, Eagles, Raiders, Niners legend, okay? He does get deep out zone KO, which is, of course, amazing, as well as pick artist. So you're going to get that for, oh, damn, I think it's flat zone, pick artist, deep out, and flat zone. This card's an A+. I know the zone guys are going crazy right now. Oh, he's crazy. He's crazy. Now, me personally, I might go with a pick artist, outside shade, flat zone for man. That's not bad right there. And I do mix a little bit of zone in there, but 6'3", 210 with these stats, these abilities, and universal coverage as well. You don't even have to run universal coverage. This card's still going to be top end. Very good card now. The Asamoah might be one of the best cards in this drop. Might be the best card in the drop. For zone or man guys, he really can do either. I mean, maybe not as much man, but if you run man, I would run universal coverage because you're going to need some KOs. But very good card. A+ for Namdi. Beautiful job right there. We now have our LTDs. First up is Fred Williamson. Fred Williamson is a man-to-man guy. If you're playing zone, don't really pay too much mind to this card, because unless you're like want to use him for flat zones or whatever, sure. He does get unstoppable force X Factor, which makes me think again, EA old time corner, he's gonna be good versus the run. That's just like, if it's an old corner, yes, he's good against the run. Simple as that. That's all you gotta know. Herb Adderley, the Rattler, Night Train Lane. I just to name a couple off the top of my head right there. But yeah, man-to-man guy. The X Factor won't make sense in a lot of schemes unless you're like blitzing guys off the edge or whatever. But good speed, good acceleration, good build, good weight for a corner. 219 is crazy. So Fred Williamson, I think he's probably gonna be like an A, because the X Factor and abilities are kind of one-sided and kind of questionable. But his build's great. Like his stats are gonna be very good on this card. And let's talk Howie Long. Howie Long gets run stuffer. No Colossus, no unstoppable force X Factor. It's gonna be run stuffer, which doesn't move me personally. No outsiders, and inside stuff for free though is pretty good. Very Christian Barrymore like, with edge threat too. But unfortunately, I actually want to see what his previous traits are. I know he has that a legend card from earlier in the year. Let's look at Howie Long. Traits are going to be 1 of 3. That's tough to look at. Howie Long is an A card. I think the fact he's able to get no outsiders, inside stuff for 0 saves the card a little bit. But no, I gotta go A-, because, dude, 89 speed. No, it's actually, okay, I know. I'm gonna go A. I think you play this card at defensive tackle because his acceleration is so high. His, where's his block shed at? Block shed 99. Yeah, he's a defensive tackle. So play him there, and he's an A. If you want to put him on the outside, he's probably an A- because of that speed. But like with the acceleration in the middle, he's gonna be okay with no outsiders, inside stuff. I'll go A for Howie Long. If his price is like in the 700K range, don't touch him, please. But if he's like quick sell, sure, go after him. That's what I'd say right there. And for our last card, we got Hines Ward, man. So Hines Ward is interesting because he already has a very good card in the game. To me, this card was, you probably could have ran it for the rest of the year if you had a Steelers team. I mean, look at it right here. The main thing is 88 run block on a 95. I'm expecting this card to have 90 run block. I don't think I'm crazy for expecting 90 run block on the new card. I really do not. But he's going to be a stud, man. Gets yak him up. The only thing that I still think puts Darius Hayward-Bay over Hines Ward is the fact that for Darius Hayward-Bay, you don't have to do anything. It just turns on his X Factor. You know what I mean? So, 2 10-yard catches is easy, right? Just like 2 corner routes or a dig or whatever. You can probably figure it out. But just being able to do nothing, just not even go to the guy, and then all of a sudden he's a monster immediately is crazy. So that to me still probably puts Darius Hayward-Bay over Hines Ward and the build and things like that. But mid and elite, the abilities, like, are they great? No. That's also what puts Darius Hayward-Bay over Hines Ward. Like mid in an armbar, are you really gonna do that? No, you're probably gonna go with Slatomatic. Like, are you gonna run armbar? Like, I wish you got like a jukebox or something like that instead of the armbar. Like a route tech for 1 AP would have been great here. Like a route tech. An armbar, sure, maybe would have done that. But mid-in, people like mid-in though. People like mid-in, right? People like mid-in. Mid-in Slatomatic with yak 'em up, maybe? Sure. That's not bad. All right, Hines Ward. I'm gonna go A+ on this card just because I know how good he'll be. He's very good after the catch. He moves very well. Good route runner. Good X Factor, and can run block. A+ Hines Ward. I would say this drop ended up being a lot better than I thought it was ever going to be. A very good drop. I thought it was just going to be a bunch of washed up NFL players that are like linemen, but they did a pretty good job. Would have loved to have seen the Rock quarterback. They definitely missed out there, but either way, as always, I'll see you boys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. And I'll be live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you there.